Good morning, everyone. And how is everyone today? I hope everyone is in good mood and happy. Today's topic of okay, this episode is about 10S, and that means I'm talking about a philosophy which will, if nurtured properly, will give benefits and add value to the organization. I repeat, 10 and SHRM. This is the topic of discussion for today. Let's sit back and enjoy the lecture and see what happens, whether it makes sense or not. Okay, my friends, again, hope everyone is in a nice mood and happy. Here I am again, and I'll try my best to deliver the lecture that I've prepared. It's very interesting, and I really agree with what they say. It makes a difference. The last five S that I'm going to talk about comes from me. And just see whether it makes sense or not. That's all. 10S. Activities or items that we divide into three parts. We can divide an activities needed. It may seem unnecessary, but it may be needed. So there are three categories of items that I'm going to talk about. When I talk about sword, which is the first of the five S, promoted and advocated by ISO. It means we divided activities or actions or items into three parts: necessary, unnecessary, and maybe unnecessary. I'm not sure. Necessary items used on a regular basis. We may use labels to differentiate one item from another with different color codes, and it must be made very visible and very traceable. That's the important point. No need to search anything. Everything is visible. Everything is visible, traceable, and there's no need to search for anything. Unnecessary items, which I do not need or have not been used for, let's say, a week, or let's say, I don't know, a month or 2 months, it hasn't been reached, hasn't been actually required. Those are unnecessary items. And it is requested to eliminate those items or remove those items as soon as possible. Unnecessary items. And the third section is maybe necessary items. These maybe the unnecessary items will be relate will come handy at one point or another. Those items need to be stored in a proper manner and maybe marked with different labels if required. This is about SORT, sort. The next S is set in order. Once we have identified what needs saying, what needs staying, what needs throwing away, and what things might be used, we can then concentrate on the necessary items. Now I'm talking about the necessary items. And that's what I call set in order. Set in order means to separate items so that all items are easily traceable and visible. Here, one point to remember: nothing should be stored or kept near or around the fire extinguisher and emergency exits. There are many other items, but this has come to my mind that actually nothing can be stored around the fire extinguisher and emergency exits. We can use labeling, numbering, zoning according to priority. For example, if it's a factory and if there's a wastage, you can easily zone that into wastage zone. Clearly visible from a distance. That's the place where wastage is stored and maybe sold, but it's clearly written, and the zone is wastage zone. It's just an example. So, set in order is where the necessary items are sorted, necessary items are divided into separate parts. Each is located in a place from where it is visible, at the same time traceable. I do not need to search. The key question: would a new person know where to find the necessary items? That's the second one, which is called set in order. Third is shine. This is about a clean enterprise. By clean is meant thoroughly clean. Sources of contamination must be identified and eliminated. Clean every part of the enterprise on a regular basis. Make this a habit. Also, machinery, if applicable. Cleaning like something is new. Usage of inspection schedule must be made, and be aware of dust. Sometimes you must take care of machines and keep it away from dust. If not, remove the dust as soon as possible. So, this is about shine. Shine is about cleanliness. We like a proper, clean environment. That's all it is. The next S is about standardization. Establish a standard of practice. Make use of signs, lines, and labels. Standardization means to establish standard conditions. All the above must be maintained and ensure standardization. Standardization will involve all relevant members of the enterprise. Standardization is about process. And sustain is the last part of the first five S, promoted and advocated by ISO. That's called sustain. Stick to the rules. I repeat, stick to the rules. 100% adherence to standards. We need self-discipline. Develop all the five S into a daily habit. Before I go, make sure that your table is clean, visible, traceable. I'm talking about all the items above on the table. In some companies, members are requested to remove all items from the desk. Some companies do this, and that's what I've heard. Before you leave for the day, treat 5S as a philosophy and enterprise culture. Now, my 5S. Now, the 5S which I advocate, as if I'm something, actually nothing. The idea, this is my idea. That's all I can say. It's up to you. First of all, 5S. S to me stands for smart. What do I mean by smartness? I mean profession. We can divide smart into two parts: agenda A, agenda B. Agenda A is about professionalism. That means what is expected from me to do, I'll do that much, which is called professionalism. Agenda B is when I do more than what is expected. It's not required, but it's more than what one expects. That's agenda B. So to me, smart. When I go to my office, when I start work, I like to be smart, which means being professional. That's agenda one. Agenda B is when I add emotions to professionalism that makes what I do even more better than what am I expected to do. In a nutshell, I call that smart. Next one is the next S is sharp. This is an awareness and alert. Try to avoid being ignorant. Members should be aware and alert. Being aware means appreciating the surroundings. You're aware of what's in front of you, what's at the back, left, right, you're aware. Being alert means trying to look for the threats and trying to take steps to minimize or eliminate the threats. That's what I call sharp, not a dull eye. You're talking, you're speaking with awareness and alertness, a sharp eye, not a dull eye. And that's what I call sharp. The next one is strengths, looking at the positives, being optimistic, being inspirational, talking about constructive feedback, motivational conversations, uplifting conversations, which I call strengths. In a nutshell, optimism is the mindset I'm talking about. Strengths. The fourth is spotless. Again, it's similar. It means cleanliness. Spotless is just a term I've used, but actually it means a clean environment. All things should look fresh, should look new, at least to some extent. And my fifth X is about spectacular. Spectacular means something extraordinary. It is also something that is amazing. And also, it is something which is unique. When I visit an enterprise or when visitors come to my enterprise, I like them to be presented, I like them to present a clean environment, a spectacular environment, which is unique, breathtaking, extraordinary, and amazing, if at all possible. So, so let's repeat the whole thing. The five S's, the five S's advocated by ISO is sort, means eliminating unnecessary items. Sort, S-O-R-T. The next item is set in order. Now we are talking about the necessary items that need to be retained, but separating the items under different headings. All are required, but under different headings. All the items need to be visible and traceable. There's no need to search for the items. That is called set in order. The next is shine. Shine is about cleanliness. Standardization, which means a process. It is It is to establish a standard of practice. All members need to take part in standardization, which is a process which we need to maintain. Sustain it, stick to the rules, make it a habit, make it a culture. The five S's promoted by ISO, which makes complete sense to me. The last five S's that I'm going to talk about is, first of all, being smart. By me, by being smart, I mean being professional. What is expected from you? Do that. You're a professional. If you want to do more, you become more professional. That's all. But do what is expected of you. That's what I call professionalism. And that's what I call smart. Sharp means being alert and at the same time being aware. Being aware means appreciating the surrounding. Alert means trying to look for threats and trying to eliminate or minimize the threats. That's what I call sharp, a sharp eye. Next, my next S is about strength, which is about optimism, positivism, constructive dialogue, constructive feedback, inspirational dialogue, motivational conversations. That's what I call strengths. Number fourth is spotless. Try to make the environment or the enterprise as clean as possible. And the fifth S is about spectacular, which is about something unique, something extraordinary, something amazing, something breathtaking. This uniqueness can make people wonder whether they do business or not. That's a different issue. But they will take away a memorable experience from your company or from your enterprise. Concluding remarks, the 10 S's that I have discussed has nothing to do with fashion. No, I'm not talking about being fashionable. It is not, it is about talking about the benefits of the 10 S's. From my point of view, fewer breakdowns. Potential customer will think of the enterprise at least. They will take away something in their memory about your organization. And hopefully, it'll be a positive memory. Few hazards. Safe work environment. The image of the organization may increase. Does this make sense? 10 S's that I've talked about. Does it make sense or not? I think it does to some extent. Just think about it. It is not about money, it is not about investment, it is not about expenditure, it's just about a mindset. That's all I'm asking. If the house is in order, we are in the right direction. And I'm talking about the house being in order. That's all I'm asking for my colleagues, friends, juniors, and seniors. Think about being in a house of order. If the house is in order, I'm in the right direction. So far, this is the end, my friends, of this brief episode, 10 S's. Take care wherever you are, my friends, juniors, seniors, brothers and sisters, wherever you are. Take care, stay happy, stay calm. Meet you soon, very, very soon. Take care, brothers and sisters. Bye bye.